Hello, and welcome to another episode of No Small Roles, a D&D podcast where there are no small roles and no lack of Gaius.
Hi. 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 Hi.
You get a Gaius. You get a Gaius.
I'm David Knight, your Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by Daryl, Ben, Vicky, Chris, and Chris. So say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Are you all ready to pick your favourite guy?
No. This guy.
No.
This guy.
This guy.
Let's cue the theme tune.
Who has 10 thumbs?
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. Your haggard character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every
Rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Roles.
So, with tears opening into the abyssal realm, the party prepared to defend themselves, as the youngest Hastan conjured new hedrons to fix the barriers. Luring lights from the abyss pulled them all forward, and wretches leapt out to attack Orin. Juna closed her eyes to avoid the lights, deciding to look through Ruana's eyes instead. With a winged demon stepping through, Gaius polymorphed it into a turtle and hurtled it through the tear. But as more luring lights caught his gaze, he stepped through, followed swiftly by Enkidu's summoned Shadowspawn and Gwendolyn, resulting in a kaleidoscope of Gwens and Gaiuses all stepping through from different strings. A number of Gaiuses teleported back through the tear just before the youngest Hastan jumped through and sealed it shut, barring Gwendolyn's rescue. As the mid-aged Hastan stepped up to seal the other tears, grasping tentacles pulled some of the Gaius duplicates out, and as the oldest Hastan arrived, the mid-aged Hastan launched himself through another tear and sealed them all shut. Which I think is actually very, very easy to follow when you write it all down like that, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm with it, totally.
But that means that, yes, the situation that we are now in, the oldest Hastan staring at Orin, Enkidu, Juna, and 5 Gaiuses, has said...
5 guys again.
5 guys?
Hey.
That we need to decide which one we're keeping.
All 5 of the guys immediately go, what are we going to do about Gwen? Yeah, what are we going to do about Gwen? How can we get Gwen back? Gwen.
I mean, they're right. What are we going to do about Gwen?
It's a bit more pressing. It's lovely having
Yeah.
5 guys for now.
Well,
We need to get Gwen back.
no, we don't.
Why?
What do you
Why?
mean?
Well, the bigger issue to our current string is having 4 intruders into it. So that really needs to be the most pressing thing before everything unravels around us.
But how are we going to know she's safe? Yeah, what he said. What who said? You said. Me? Yeah, you. Okay, him. No, not you, him. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, I've not lived through this bit before.
Oh no.
All is in hand with her. Let us just choose one of these men to continue on, shall we?
How can we take your word for that? You haven't explained to us what's going on with her out there.
Yeah.
Yes, one problem at a time, though, my boy.
Well, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? I mean, these guys are the imposters, and all of them point at the Spider-Man meme. They all point at the other ones.
I really wish you
I
hadn't
have
said
a
that.
question to ask.
Yes?
No, you as a DM. Oh no! Well, no. I'm doing character.
Yes.
David's doing in this
That's
room.
just my voice now. Yeah.
I would. I don't know if it's like technically something I can do. I would like to cast divination because it is technically something that's going to happen in the next 7 days, but it's not really to do with the future.
What? Well, it depends. I mean, divination could work in this instance, but I suppose it depends on your question.
Yeah, I basically would like to say which guy has always belonged to the same cycle of strings as me and should still belong to it.
Oh, yeah. I feel that is because it's kind of like calling to like past as well as future.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
like
that
Gina
feels
would,
like that could give you an
get a bit
answer.
spiritual about it.
Yeah.
And she does want to keep the right guy for more reasons than one.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
It's one action, so it's not like a long, convoluted thing.
Yeah. Do you need any?
I need herbs, lots, but I have lots.
Then yeah, there's from DM talking. There's no reason that doesn't make sense. That path of action.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's the one where I need a lot of flowers or herbs.
You've said a lot so many times. I'm thinking like a dumper truck full of full of herbs.
Yeah, it's something
Is
like
this
that.
the one that you got
all the
wagon
flowers,
full of flowers
the wagon
for, yeah.
full of flowers.
Like a cargo
But I
crate
did
full of
stock
basil.
up to the hilt with herbs, so I
Yeah.
feel like they could be in the caddy.
If that's what you want to use, that
that is what I want to use.
Absolutely, because it's basically 25 gold pieces worth of something to like process the spell, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is my last. I'm using a spell slot higher than I should, but I think this is important.
Go for it.
So yeah, I think she lays the herbs out around the guys and asks the question.
So the herbs. What pattern have you put around the herbs? Have you like kept them in like the Gaiuses in a line? Have you like marked them in a circle? Like, have you arranged them?
I think she's arranged them in like a sort of mask shape. Sort of like got one on the top corner, one on the other top corner, like the sort of bottom bit that goes beneath your eyes, and then one in the middle.
Nice.
And sort of just makes it like a mask shape.
Yeah.
And sort of says to them like, trust the process. I'm trying my best, guy, and I hope one of you is the one that belongs to this string. Because to Gina, none of them could be the guy. She doesn't know.
Your wisdom has never let us down, so I'll trust your process.
Thank you, Guy.
Orin throws that one.
The thing about Guy is that, like, he would joke in this scenario, so you cannot be sure that it's not Guy if he's not in the right accent. Or haikuing left, right, and centre.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you sort of arrange them, and how, like, resistant, like, the Gaius is on board?
Yeah, they're all on board.
Yeah, nice. So, they're all, willingly led around to the different spaces on this little mask pattern that you draw out with herbs, which, now that all the sofas are out of the way, there's actually quite a nice amount of floor space in here to do this. But, yeah, you sit there, you sort of focus the question in your mind, focus on the herbs, and slowly the herbs around the outside completely fizzle up and like turn into smoke and disappear until just finally the Gaius that stood in the middle, those herbs around him almost like blossom more into life. They're no longer like dried herbs, they suddenly become like flowers.
I think she sort of looks at the guy in the middle and is like, well, I have to trust in fate. This is the guy I believe is this strings guy.
Yeah, I'm your guy. And then the other three will go, well, I think I'm the guy as well, but the process says not.
We can't keep them all.
No.
We could ask the questions that we had to answer when we arrived to determine which string everyone's from.
If we want to be doubly sure.
Yes,
Yeah?
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just
The one in the middle goes, are we sure? Because I'm pretty confident I'm the one.
All of you would say that.
At this
Yeah.
point, Juna just sort of like nicks her hand so that it bleeds a bit and like just goes up to Guy and just sort of like affectionately rubs him on the face just so that he is physically marked different to the other guys. Little bit of blood.
Nice.
Are you all right? Okay, cool.
I mean, the worms were more gross than this, so that's fine. Yeah, I did not like the worms.
I really don't trust that one.
It's a good idea, Enkidu.
Yeah. Can we remember
But she
all the
kind of
questions?
squeezes the one she thinks is hand. I think Juno is
He
already.
squeezes back, but he's a little bit nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Well,
What questions you got for us?
okay.
Says one of them.
All right, fine. What item did we present when we got here?
All of them say mask.
Tea or coffee?
All of them say tea.
You're kidding me. What item did Miss Septhorn present?
I can't remember. I can't remember either. They all can't remember.
Who survived the disaster in Tillisham?
I didn't, and Juna didn't, and everyone else did, according to you.
Do all 5 say that?
All 5 of them say that.
Oh my gosh.
What were the other questions?
Which one of the group is currently a Wingthorpe construct?
They all point to you, all apologetically, apart from one.
Oh,
Oh,
not that one.
well,
That one didn't vote for you.
okay. Now, this might be a fruitless question. Cast your mind back. All of us had a chance to vote for each other on who embodies a Wingthorpe value. And when it came to a binary choice between two people, who did he choose?
I chose you. One of them says, I chose you. 3 of them say, yeah, I chose you as well. And then one of them says, I chose Juna.
Well, that rules out some things.
The one who does that goes, okay, like, so am I your guy?
Which one says that?
The one who says I voted Juna.
Is that one got blood on them?
No.
I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that one
you.
either.
Sorry, Guy.
Okay, so I'm going to take a step back, but I'm going to go back to my own reality, right?
Yes.
The hesitation is not good. And then all 5 of them looks really accusingly at you. What's going to happen to all of us?
Well, one of you is going to be okay,
I don't like the sound of that. I don't either.
but the others do not belong in this reality.
True, we belong in our own reality. So says the Juna one, Juna guy. We'll call him Juna guy. Juna guy goes, yeah. So what's going to happen to me?
Well, you will have to be removed in some way or eliminated.
But there were 3 of you in this cycle of string, and
Yes, but all 3 of us were from this string, just from different points in time. The issue we have here is only one of these men should be here. The other 4, not at all.
so what happens if they just stay?
It theoretically could unravel everything around us, and then, this could very well be the disaster. That ends not only terrain, but then the entire plane.
3 of them band together and start backing into a corner of the room. What does that mean?
What do you think it means? You know, don't you?
2 of them start looking for exits. Start glancing around the room anxiously.
Look, there's nowhere else. There's no way out of
David,
here.
are there any doors?
No.
Are there any exits?
The only exit that you are aware of is through the fireplace, which is where Old Hastan is currently stood.
Now stop. Think about it.
Cool. This is weird.
Yep.
But this is what they would do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you wouldn't do anything hasty. Now, like, considering the stakes here.
One of them
Stakes,
casts
guys.
Charm Person on Hastan.
Oh, no.
What's the save?
It's going to be a 16.
So that's 23. He sees the spell coming, like...
He's not telling us everything.
No, we know that, but we know how dangerous it is to have...
A different one casts a different spell at you.
Oh, yeah.
Wisdom save 16.
Guys, think about what you're doing here.
I mean, that was only a 12.
Okay, so your memory is modified to where you've agreed to do everything within your power to keep them safe and keep them and get them back to their own realities without eliminating them.
Amazing. So yeah, this moment of like washes over him. He doesn't outwardly react, but like the guy as the casts it knows that something is like changed in him.
What? Sorry, what?
So
we
you-
were discussing how to get the Gaiuses back to their own strings and save...
Yes, it'd be very difficult, but we'll definitely give it a good go.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice the change in tone?
That's quite an abrupt. Yeah, an insight
It's a
check.
very abrupt
Insight check.
change in personality, yeah.
11, I think. No, that's 13.
13. Yeah, there's a that completely contradicts what he's just said. Before he was like, no, we're going to have to get rid of them. And now he's like, oh, yeah, we'll send them back.
Just roll inside just so I... Okay, well, 10.
I mean, you all saw those two guys casting spells.
Yeah, we saw that.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so is there a way we can do this?
Very, very difficult, and I feel it may not be entirely successful, but we can. That would be feasible. Send them back to their own strings in the hopes that they could then rescue and stop their own remains from being eliminated.
And if you're not successful in sending them back?
And if we're not successful, it could spell the unraveling of our reality, which, at which point, obviously, I would step in and unfortunately have to stop those attempts and focus on saving our own reality. But no, the focus should be
let's
sending
get
them home.
back. Yeah. There's no ifs and fallbacks here. We have to do this.
Yeah.
Look, we gotta try at least, okay?
Yeah,
we have to.
We are people too, even though this.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is my own reality, but the leaves say otherwise, and you're all looking at us really weirdly, and this is our lives here, guys. Come on. You know me. I know you. I know you. You're a Wingcrop. I know you. You're Enkidu. And whatever you are, thinking back to the conversation of a previous episode. And you, Junior, we've known each other for, as long as we have, and we've grown really strong together and really bonded, and this is my family. You're basically killing me, killing us.
We're not
and
killing
agreeing
you.
to do that.
We're trying to send you, some of you, back to where you're from to prevent everything and everyone dying.
Have you seen a future in which this has happened and it has undone the reality of what we know, or are you just guessing?
That's just a summation of my understanding of dunamancy and the such like. Those who tamper too much within timelines and crossing timelines can cause irreparable damage.
Can.
Yes, even if you were to... again, I am not the strongest in a divination skill, but even if you look at the damage Kralaven Savel caused to himself in trying to witness other strings and their future timelines...
But
that can
also
happen.
Kralaven Savel is study that you are basing a lot of what you've just told us on.
Yes, and seeing the damage it did to him internally, I hate to think that damage could spill out externally.
To the world itself.
Look, it's worth a try, isn't it?
Yes.
It's worth a try at the very least.
Yes.
I think it's worth a try, but I don't think we should eliminate guys out of existence. I'm confident that this is our guy.
Yes.
She points to the one that the flowers grow around that she's marked, but we don't know. We don't know for sure, do we?
No, this does go some way into my travels within the abyssal realm itself. As you can see, my younger selves have spent some time there. And whilst you are within a reality, it can be hard to determine the matching frequency of somebody from your own string, but that becomes readily apparent when you are outside of the bounds of the strings, you see. So, my younger self, I can imagine at this very moment, is seeking out your Gwendolyn from within the crowd, knowing that there is a resonancy that matches the two of them from being from the same place.
So can you see a resonancy in one of these guys?
No, but I can imagine one way to resolve this would be to send you all back through and check the resonances there. But again, I'm sure you experienced, and I'm very sorry for you to have done this, it's not an easy crossing.
How do you know? Why last time did 20 guys appear? Why won't that happen if the guys go back through? Why aren't we going to end up with 100?
It may well do.
But there's one of you that's the frequency. And what's going to happen to the other guys? Are they just all going to be stuck in the abyssal plane?
Well, no, because if I'm also crossing over, oh no, I see what you mean, yes. We can only hope that the Hastans from your own timelines are somewhere out there, and we can match you to them.
That they might be stepping through to try and find you. Like, hopefully, one of the Hastans is to Gwen.
Yes.
Look, I just want the pathway where it's like not annihilation for me if I'm not your guy. Yeah. And the other guys go, yeah, what he said.
What he said.
Yeah, well, understandable, yes.
So let's do that.
I really don't trust that one.
It's in the southern accent.
Look, we're cousins. We know each other.
Okay, well, yes, I mean, again, very dangerous opening another one of these portals, but if that's the only way that we can save this string, then let's attempt it.
Okay.
And we might be able to see Gwen over there as well.
Yep.
Let's get to work.
Guys, is there anything that you need to do before you go through healing? Making sure you're in the best state possible before you go through?
One of the guys will go, I'm feeling okay. And then two of the guys will go, I'm feeling like in the middle, a little not great. Another two guys will go, I'm really, really struggling here. I might need a little bit of healing, a little bit of TLC.
Wonderful. The rest of you, non-Gaiuses, would you like to remain within the room or step back and retire?
I'll remain in the room.
I'm not
be
retiring
already.
anywhere.
Remain in the room. Guys, come over here, and I will give you all the guys. Wait 6 seconds. No, wait another 6 seconds. There we go. 12 temp HP. Anyone else can have it as well who wants to be near me.
All of us could take a hit.
Okay, and then, so which of you, the two of you who said you were worse off, come here.
Two go up to you.
You've seen these before? Pull out the bees.
Yep.
What was this form?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember either.
Blimey. I will cure wounds, both of them. So let's do our guy, quote unquote, first. You will get, our guy will get 6 HP back.
Okay.
And the one that isn't ours, we think, will get 13 HP.
Cool.
Do they look like they need a bit more curing? The two ones that were bad?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah. Juna's just going to hold both of their hands, and our guy 4, the other one 1.
Just while that's going on, I am just going to slip into our guy's pocket. I've got nothing small on me. I've got a mess kit. What's
You've
in a
got
mess
gold
kit?
pieces. You can always trust
that's
the
true.
guy.
Yes, yeah.
Give me your money. This has been a big ploy, all to get him to give us some gold.
I will slip into... Yeah, it's a good shout. I will slip into your pocket 1 gold piece, and I will sending into your head. Say, keep hold of that. I'm going to want to see it when you get back.
Okay.
And as Juna lets go of our guy's hand, she's going to give him some guidance.
Are there dead bodies still of Guy around the room?
No, they got yoinked out by tentacles.
Damn, can you imagine the amount of gold times how many bodies
gosh.
there were?
Losing your own body.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There
You
is a
would
part
have
of me that
10,000
immediately
gold.
thought, "Oh my god, that would be a great pie flick, like looking through his own corpse times 3 to get all that gold." Anyway,
Is guys wearing a collar? Like a collared shirt or anything like that?
no.
So, with all the guys just healed up, Enkidu, you doing anything to prepare?
As they were healing, I would have cast Prestidigitation and put the Wingthrook symbol just on inside of your left palm, and then also put it on Juna's wand as well, on Steph. While that was happening, so I can roll
The sympathy.
the sympathy.
Yeah, I'll just say,
sigil.
as everyone's moving around.
Yeah.
Everyone's checking over all the Gaiuses, so it makes sense that you are also doing checks, quote unquote, but then are just whoop.
All the guys give each other a guy hug, a guy group hug, which results in a butt squeeze from all of them. Two of them go, "Wow," and the third one goes, "Yeah, I know, I work out a lot." Squats. I'm gonna remember that. Yeah, squats is the way forward.
Hastan, before you go, if I send her through pointing to her head and Rowana on the top,
Yeah.
what will happen?
Well, as a non-corporeal being, she could very well be just disintegrated upon contact. It's probably safer not to test the limits, as it were.
All right.
Are you ready, guys?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
It's been wonderful seeing you, and yes, I'll be. Hopefully, we can sort this out.
Walks over to one of the closest Hedron, and just twists it so that it deactivates the little portal.
Can I just prepare a blowtorch just in case tentacles come through,
Yeah,
dogs
yeah,
come
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
I
I
can
just
imagine,
lock and load.
And even Hastan is on
Yeah.
you can tell he's
just, I'm not
ready to grab for the
Yeah.
gun almost, you
yeah,
know.
I'm just Orin fingers his blowtorch.
Eldritch energy is going through and Keely's fingers just in case.
But then Hastan holding it is like, well, after you then.
And they all go in.
Good luck.
And he closes it after them.
Well, okay. We'll sort that out then, shall we? Will the rest of you follow me?
What? You're not going through?
No.
What?
Well, I'll explain. Follow.
And he turns and walks through the illusory fireplace instead.
What happens to the sympathy sigil on Tuna's staff?
Oh, it vanishes.
Oh no. Okay. Okay, cool. Right.
Okay, you better have a really good explanation.
Right. What else are we going to do? We're going to follow him, right?
What is happening?
So have you followed through the fireplace?
I guess we have to.
Yeah.
And you see him old man walking, but he's still got a bit of life in him. He's got magical powers and stuff. And he is walking toward the further doors of his living quarters where the other younger Hastans appeared, which you all then follow through, and it starts leading down little corridors, revealing that this space beyond these living quarters are actually quite expansive. But then he gets to a wall, and the wall itself doesn't look particularly, it doesn't look like an illusion, but he mutters a few words in front of it, and it vanishes. It fades away, revealing a sizable room, but fairly small in comparison. Probably about the same size as his sitting room where you all had the longer conversation. And inside is Gwendolyn, and also Gaius. Gaius, you've only been there for about an hour, so you are very confused as to what is happening. But Gwendolyn, what do they see of you?
So Gwendolyn's skin is looking a lot lighter, like she's not been outside for a very long time, that she's been sun deprived. She's kind of got bags under her eyes, her hair's scraped back, and you can see the scar of a burn down her right hand side of her neck. So you can just see the scar, just slightly darker skin down her neck. Her clothing looks like she's been in an awful battle a bit of time ago. It's all been mended since. She's also got one of these kind of magical robes that the others are wearing over the top as well. She has a streak of grey hair from stress in her hair. In her hair, she doesn't look much older to what you're used to, but she looks a bit haggard. She looks young, but like she's been through some stuff. She's been through some stress. She's got slightly bigger arm muscles than you remember.
Oh.
She's been doing a lot of pull-ups.
Is this like Gwen who's lived in Jumanji for a year?
Kind of. I think that's a really good, equivalent.
Comparison.
Yeah, Gwen that's lived in Jumanji.
Oh, that's so sad.
She's. There are 5 apple plants in the room, and there's also a pile of books. And as you walk in and see her, she's showing with wide eyes, showing Gaius the music box that he got her, and she's winding it, and this is really special. Something really special has happened to this now. This is something, but she doesn't quite seem like the Gwen that you remember. You can tell she's been alone for a while. She can't quite tell how long it's been. It's actually only been about 6 months, but when you're alone, and the Hastans have not been near her, so she's just they brought her meals and whatever, but she's been alone. She's been in solitary confinement for 6 months, so she's just a little bit skittish. And then you wind it, and then something really amazing happens, Gaius. And you're Gaius, but also this plant is Gaius as well. And as I'm getting confused, you look so similar.
Yeah, there's a lot of that around.
Yes.
But I haven't been confused with a plant yet.
Oh, this one's definitely, you can tell because I made a tiny little mask out of paper for it. Doesn't it look lovely?
Yeah.
It sings like you as well.
Yeah, Gwen. And Gaius' eyes are a mixture of alarm and brokenhearted at the same time.
I think
Seeing these
Juna's
guys
gonna
go.
Are we going to
go in
come in?
Oh,
quite
guys.
slowly and
Yeah.
You're here.
Gwen,
Gaius.
Gwen,
Gwen.
and
Yep.
sort of go as if to embrace her, but with her eyes, kind of ask for consent, reading that something isn't quite
And
right.
Keely's just going to slowly just lay a hand on Juna's shoulder, just to put it there.
Do I still have the coin in my pocket?
As soon as I see Guy, I will message to Guy in his head and go, "What have you got in your pocket from me?"
I've got a gold coin just for you, buddy. Do I still have the blood on my face?
Yeah, it's a bit more dried now. Your experience of the past hour has basically been stepping back through into the abyss, which, hurt a little bit. Not as much as it had previously. A rush of different Hastans appearing and pulling at the different Gaiuses, and one grabbing you, basically throwing you straight through another portal. So again, your head is like fuzzed from this crossing twice, but throwing you into this room with Gwendolyn. But you've been here for about an hour.
Okay. And what have I gotten out of, just for my context of like, what do I know about Gwen that these guys don't know? Because I'm happy to role play as like letting these guys lead the questions, but I think Guy would obviously, seeing Gwen straight away, be like, are you okay? What's happened? And so on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's been my experience in that hour, Gwen?
I think at first she was very unsure if it was really you, because she's been waiting such a long time and she's lost track of what is real and what isn't. Her company has been books, but old like romance novels, nothing like just fantasy and nothing useful. But she's kind of in a state where she can't quite know what's real and what's not. And so she would have been working out for a while if you actually were Guy, and then she would have shown her scar. And
he would have asked about the scar.
Yes,
and asked about the abyssal realm and how long she'd been there.
When I was in the abyssal realm, there were lots of very scary things, and I fought really well. But I nearly died. And they brought me back here, and they healed me best they could, and I had a lot of fevers, they said, but when I started to feel like myself, they wouldn't tell me anything. They wouldn't spend time with me. They didn't want to let me know anything, even though I was here, and why can't you tell me things? But they didn't want to ruin what was happening, and that I couldn't know anything, and so I grew my plants. They helped me grow my plants, and they taught me a tiny bit of magic, but not really very much. But yes, and these are my plants, and there's you, Gaius, and then there's Juna, and then Kidu, and Orin, and I had 5 seeds, so I also grew one for Dwayne. And they're my plants. And they've been keeping me company, really. The food's rubbish.
The plants are lovely.
Thank you.
I've never had a plant named after myself. That's lovely.
These are the ones from the Wilder Queen, so maybe she's going... I thought maybe she might help me out of here, but, well, I mean, maybe she has, because you're all here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juna goes right up to Gwen, holds her by the hands, and looks her in the eye and says, "Gwen, I am so sorry."
Well, you said you'd come find me, and I suppose you have. Just not there, but instead here.
It was
only moments ago that we lost you.
It's been barely. It's not been an hour.
A few minutes.
For us.
It's been... I mean, it hasn't been the longest of times, but it felt like it. Without you all. I'm not really used to being on my own this much for this long before, so... It feels a bit crowded in here now, actually, that you are all here, even though it's really wonderful to see you again. It's a lot of
Let's give you some space.
Give you space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like to all retire to a larger room?
Yes, it's very crowded in here.
Wonderful. Please follow me.
Grace here, keeping you updated with all things No Small Roles related. And yes, we appreciate it's been a while since the last episode, so thank you all so much for continuing to bear with us. Life has continued to be super busy for everyone, and any spare time that we might have had to edit episodes just completely vanished over the last few months. We have, however, been channeling our efforts into recording as many episodes as possible so we can make sure we give our amazing Vicky a bit of a break, as next month she will be giving birth. We are so beyond delighted for you, Vicky. A huge congratulations. And listeners, if you want to share your congratulations with Vicky, do pop on the Discord or send us a note via social media. We will pass it on to her. We are so excited to meet our newest little friend. And on the subject of new friends, we have some fabulous new Patreon supporters, and we'd love to celebrate you. So thank you to Drew, NMC, and Brendan. Thank you all for your support. We are so grateful. Big love and big rolls to you all. For any of you following the Duskmoor Chronicles, you may recognise the new Patreon Brendan as one of my fellow players. He plays Dorin Duskholm, a childhood friend of my character, Georgina Flock, who is a wild magic barbarian that I'm having an absolute blast playing. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you can find all episodes so far on How to Be a Great GM's YouTube channel. There are new episodes released every Friday, so do go check it out. For our theatre fans out there, Open Bar's production of Vanity Fair is in full swing, produced by Vicky, costumes by me, and music by David, with some very good acting by Ben. The cast have been nominated for Best Ensemble, so it's well worth catching it while you can. Also, while I'm talking about Open Bar, just a shout out to the amazing director Nikki Diss, who is a listener and runs Open Bar with Vicky. They are such a wonderful duo, and obviously having all worked for Open Bar, and that's the whole reason we're friends and playing D&D. So we have so much love for them. So if you would like to give some love to their social media, you can find them at We Are Open Bar. That's a great way of keeping track of theatrical endeavours the No Small Roles cast get involved with Open Bar. Vicky has also been lending her creative talents to the Dot Collective, who are creating a devised open-air show for families. Very accessible, very fun, colourful, not too long, called The Dream Sequence, which happens to also have me in, clowning around, and of course you can't stop me from doing costumes, so I'm also doing the costume. So if any of the shows that I've just mentioned, the YouTube, the Vanity Fair, or The Dream Sequence tickle your fancy, then please check out the links in the show notes. For anybody who's convention bound, I will be heading to MCM Comic Con next weekend, so it depends on how quickly you're listening to this. If you're going to be there and you would like to say hello to me, I would love to meet up. So please, again, get in contact via the Discord, via social media. It will be lovely to, I know I'm going to see some of the listeners there already, so yes, do let me know. Or if you see me walking around, you're like, oh, wait a minute, is that Grace from No Small Roles? Then say hello, because I love meeting listeners, so huzzah. Anyway, this has gone on far too long. Hopefully episode 86 will be with you much sooner than the last one. We think we're getting on top of everything, but yeah, I'm just crossing my fingers that we're going to be getting everything out to you, because there are so many good episodes coming your way, Crumpets, and I need you to hear them. So here's to May bringing us some more balance, and also hopefully another episode of No Small Questions, as we'd love to meet some of our new Patreons as well. So watch this space. Just let's hope the space isn't really big. Anyway, big love, Crumpets. That is all from me for now. Let's get you back to the story.
And Hastan kind of walks down another few corridors into a kitchen that it's got similar vibes to the Chargate Hall kitchen. That like is slightly automated magically, but it is just that step bigger. Not like overwhelming you with like suddenly into a very large room, but it's like just that size bigger, so that everyone can almost like sit around different tables toward the walls and feel like make you feel like you've got some space.
Gwendolyn has like this Hastan robe that she's been given. She kind of like wraps it up around herself a little bit more like an hoodie, and she picks up the juniper pot plant, and she kind of holds onto that quite tightly as she follows kind of behind. She hasn't been out of this room for a long time.
I almost imagine that as they've all grown as well, that the Juno is like the smallest one as well.
Yeah. And she's like painted that pot plant purple.
Nice.
So not the plant itself, the pot.
The pot.
The pot is painted purple. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool.
Would anybody like any drink? Tea, I believe, is the standard for this group.
Yeah, I'd appreciate some tea.
Yeah. Tea.
Tea, Gwendolyn.
Yes, tea.
Wonderful. Juna, could you please assist me? Just over here in the corner.
He's a powerful mage, but he needs help with tea.
Juna complies.
Juna complies.
But as the others of you sort of take seats, you kind of like at the furthest end of the room with Juna.
It's been a bit longer than 6 months.
How long has it been?
Well, for her, it's only been 6 months. There were some enchantments placed on the room, which meant that she only experienced 6 months. Time dilation, I suppose. But it's been 25 years.
25 years.
She has only experienced 6 months of that, but it has been longer, yes.
What exactly happened?
Well, in the same way as you might have seen that there were younger versions of myself, it can be very difficult to pinpoint the exact moment that you return, you see. So, having experienced what my younger self experienced when he sent Gwendolyn back, I hadn't quite figured out exactly how to do that properly, and actually I couldn't even travel back with her at the time. But she arrived here where I was, me old man, 26 years ago, and knowing obviously that would not be good to reintroduce her to a timeline. Well, it actually seemed the most sensible thing to keep her in that room.
She's been in that room for 25 years.
Yes. So I thought I'd let you know. And if you care to share that with her at your own leisure, she might take it nicer from you than me being perceived as some kind of captor.
That is sort of what you are, though, isn't it?
Yes, unfortunately so.
And so it's for the best of the timeline that you've locked her up for this amount of time, but with no consideration to what this has done to her and will do to her, and how it's changed her.
Yes, unfortunately. If I had released her, she may have been in a much worse state, having lost you all, and may have decided to tamper with or reach out to any of you. You're a lady of quite advanced age, like myself. If Gwendolyn had come to you and changed the trajectory and what you are meant to do.
Let me get this straight. You and all of your mates from way back in the past are willy-nilly running through time, changing it and trying to make things different throughout time. You were doing this all over the place. But for one young girl to go out into a timeline 25 years earlier, that's the danger. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, we're not changing the timeline. We're trying to predict the timeline and react accordingly. I myself have remained down here to avoid any interactions with the wider timeline. The string can become unstable, but if we keep it contained within one place, then those repercussions won't be very strong. And whilst I have control over myself, I don't have control outside of these bounds. If I leave, those tears could open and destroy everything. So I have to stay, I have to keep the timeline here, and that unfortunately meant keeping her with us as well.
And this timeline that we're on, we could get to the end of it and it could all be rewound.
Not rewound, just destroyed. We are on a forward trajectory, and whilst I have done some hopping here and there, I am the only one. Kralavin looked forwards, but he didn't change anything. He couldn't. And I have avoided changing things as much as I can by remaining situated here. I do understand the moral implications of keeping her like this, which is why, as I said, I tried to soften the blow by having her only experience a truncated version of those years. Tea, sugar, who takes sugar?
There ain't biscuits.
Yes, I can get some biscuits.
Just tea's fine.
No sugar.
I want the ones where you can like dunk it multiple times, because like the ones and then they go and fall apart.
Oh, yes, I'll certainly have a look for those guys.
Yep.
So, she's never going to be the same again.
Now that she has rejoined you, there is certainly a better chance of healing.
Oh, we'll try our best.
Well, yes, she'll be most comfortable with you, I'm certain.
I need to go and see her now. And Juna walks off without a tea.
The ultimate test.
We're in the darkest timeline now. JV.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how long that conversation has taken.
The time it took to make tea.
Okay. Orin will have gone over to Gwen and will have just sat there quietly with a hand on her shoulder. And if 11 minutes can pass while this is happening,
Yeah.
he can cast Identify just to check if there are any spells currently affecting Gwendolyn.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
It's an ability of Identify. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
I will say that there's not currently cast on her.
Mm-hmm.
The room that she was in had the magical effects in.
Okay.
So you might get the sense that there's some kind of restoration-y, healing type magics that are kind of running through her just to keep her healthy, physically. But beyond that, there's no Dunamancy magic cast on her or acting on her at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Whilst you're doing that, Gwendolyn is kind of holding the pot and she's just kind of stroking the leaves, just kind of making sure they're okay, and just kind of slightly muttering under her breath, just kind of talking to the plant.
Are you sharing a secret with the plants?
I was just letting Juna know that people have arrived, and that she's here, and that you're here, and asking her if she'd like some tea.
Oh, right. Mr. Haston, can we have some more tea, please?
Oh, yes, just bring it over, yes.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it's what helps her to grow. I say that she's short on all the rest of the other plants, but
right.
She's no less loved, obviously.
Of course.
She's still. Look how I painted her pot.
Oh, okay. What do I see?
It's just painted just purple. It's not detailed or anything at all. It's just lots of purple
Right,
paint.
this makes things...
Excellent.
That's nice.
So, because Juna loves purple so much.
She does.
She does.
Amethyst.
That's right. Yeah. How did you choose the other colours?
Well, I did on Orin's pot. I don't know if you saw it, but I'd got a stone next to it, and that was Aggie. And and then Enkidu, for yours, I wanted to make it match your armor, so
Okay.
I painted it to match that. And then on Dwayne's pot, I painted that blue with his scales. And are you all really here?
I reach forward and I grab her. I just gently touch her other hand. We're really here.
And she kind of moves back a little bit at first, but she kind of looks into Enkidu's eyes. Can I do an insight check, please, David?
Absolutely.
It's 10. So she's still a little bit unsure, but she wants to believe that it's all of you, really.
Yeah. I think he'll let her go, seeing her reaction, just slowly back off.
Hey, look, even Aggie's here. And I'll pull Aggie out of the backpack where she's been hiding for the last battle.
Honk.
Can she tell me what I missed?
Yeah. Aggie, print a report.
And then as it's printing out, Gwendolyn's reading it and is surprised at how short it is. Really.
Yeah.
Even though they've just said it's not been very long, just seeing it written down in paper is just oh. It really wasn't that long for you, so.
We came through a door.
Gwenny, no one's asking you to process this quickly, okay? No one's asking you to do anything we want to give you as much time as possible. Okay? So if you're feeling things, it's okay to feel things. All I'm saying is like, don't feel like we need anything from you. We want to just know what you need and what you want. Okay for this?
I want to help people. I made sure I kept training and actually look at these guns.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, goodness me.
Yeah, and
You could take out a fish with them.
flexes. A fish.
Yeah. You know what it feels like to have a shotgun go through a fish?
It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
Shot through the fish.
That well-known Drebanian.
Like a shotgun.
Have you ever gone fishing by casting
No one knows what a
fireball?
shotgun is, but yeah, we say it.
You ever gone fishing by casting fireball? I think that's the effect.
Yeah, you've been training. Watch out, Enkidu.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to cross that line. I promise you.
Well, maybe I need a bit of practice. I'm a bit out. I feel a bit rusty. Like I have been looking after. I've been training, and I've been thinking about Carhilda's and wondering if it was better that I was hidden away because
Juna comes over at that point and is like, never think that, Gwen. What's happened to you is awful and terrible, but none of it should have happened. It was an awful, awful turn of events that has nothing to do with you.
Of course. I think I know that. I'm glad Gaius is okay.
I'm glad you... Guy just gets up and walks out of the room for a little bit.
Is he upset with me because I started to try and make my way back through the tear, and that's when everything went...
No
I
one's
not at all.
upset with you, Gwen.
I
We
thought
just
if I
care
came
about
back,
you.
then I could get help, and
Yeah.
I didn't want him to feel like I was abandoning him
No, of
in
course.
there. But
A lot has happened. He just needs to figure out things on his end.
what happened to... Well, I read it from Aggie that
Yeah.
there was lots of him.
There were,
I'm surprised it didn't turn into an orgy, really.
given time.
Well, it was very close.
There were two of them.
I've read about an orgy.
The moment they stepped into the abyss, all over each other.
They just thought, well, you know what, it's the end of the world. So
Oh my gosh.
they were at the bottom of the scrum. Like, everyone was sort of
That
stepping
is
on them.
literal rock bottom.
Well, some of the books that I read, they were a bit, well, considering they're so old, they were a bit more racy.
You've been reading books. That's good.
Well, yeah, they're just romance things. I kind of used to read a lot of them when I was younger anyway, so I kind of knew them. But there's one or two that were...
Anything worth reading?
Enkidu flashes a very baffled but confused eye at Hastem and back to Gwen and shakes her like, I don't want to know what a centuries old wizard does alone.
We don't get Amazon Prime down here.
Oh gosh.
I must admit, I always thought I knew a bit more about things, but actually I don't really know anything. I just like to pretend that I'm worldly wise, and I'm not. And now I've read some more things, and now I think I understand more of the jokes now.
Gwen, I think you are the most worldly wise of all of us now.
Well, not some of things that I read in those books.
Don't believe everything you read in a book.
It's just a matter of taste a lot of the time.
Sometimes what's written in a book is a bit, overdone.
Yes. Well, there was a whole series of one which was 50 Shades of Mauve, and it's all about these mages and their robes, and
I salute you.
Wow.
yeah,
I feel like Dwayne had that one in his bag, if I remember.
But
Come into my castle.
yes, they weren't the best, but there were lots of them. So I just wish I'd been able to read things that would be able to help us and and with what we're doing and saving the world. So,
Yeah.
Are we still doing that? Is that still...
That is exactly what we're
We
doing.
can't do it without you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking of saving the world, she shoots a stare over at Hastan.
Yes.
What exactly is the plan?
Well, from this point, assumedly you head down to Mervi, and young Master Enkidu here absorbs Brumath Tarabor, and then you find the henge in which the disaster happens and stop that from occurring by performing the ritual in Brumath Tarabor's head. It's very simple.
Oh, it's so easy. Now you put it like
Yeah,
that.
of course.
We'll
Yeah,
just get on with
simple,
that. See
no
you
risk.
later. See you in a week.
yeah.
It might take longer than a week, but if you can't get it done in that
was my
time...
sarcasm not entirely crystal bloody clear?
I heard it.
I said a twat and a bloody stupid down here.
We're still agitated.
No, I've had the tea.
Oh,
I've had the tea.
yeah.
That was just pure orange.
Yeah. Cool.
Unadulterated.
When shall we get out of here?
Are you ready to leave this place after so long?
We need to get my plants.
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
And I'll get you the best book.
Oh, maybe not the 50 Shades one.
No, that's not the best. No, 50 Shades of Mauve gets very boring. No, there is there's one about a unicorn.
Oh.
And well, I'll let you fill in the blanks.
Okay. I'll give it a read. Oren's mind is racing.
It's not actually as bad, but
My mind went like My Little Unicorn, and I was like, sure.
Just imagine how
I went in a very different direction.
I was more in The Witcher 3.
Yes, lovely.
Garamir, before we leave, I think we still have questions about what we're about to undertake. There are a lot of things we don't know,
Yes.
including, well, it seems like your compatriots don't fully know how a henge works, right?
No.
So how can there be a key? Because we've seen or know that there's an existence of a key.
My understanding of the keys, from what Chargelt has relayed to me, at the very least, is they are a way to access the power within a henge without forcing your way in, so to speak.
Forcing your way in?
Yes, you can damage a henge and try to access its power that way, but then unfortunately you're dealing with raw, untapped magical energies, whereas the key helps as a conduit. But my understanding as well is that keys can only be used by specific people.
The Children of Havoc had a key.
Mm.
The children of who, sorry?
Children of Havoc. They have a key.
Oh.
They were buying one.
They bought one.
From the
From
Hex,
the Hex.
who the consortium do business with.
Who can use a key?
I don't know. It depends on. Well, we need to research more about that in particular.
Is
Well-
a key specific to a
Specific henge.
specific henge?
Not to my understanding.
Right. So, I think before we even head to Mervi, if the henges are, key to saving Dravain, don't you think we should, or at least I should have access to it before I even try the ritual? Because if that power of the henge is locked to me, I don't think I can succeed.
Oh yes, that's a very good point. If you can acquire the key from these Children of Havoc, then you should be set to prevent any disaster at any henge.
Are you aware of their activities? The chaos they're bringing to the country?
Some minor attacks, yes.
And there's a race between them and the consortium to get to the henges to unlock their secrets.
I was not as aware of their involvement with the henges.
You aren't?
No. Well, I'm not told everything down here.
I see. Well, it's a good thing we told you. Because their involvement complicates matters, you understand?
Yes, indeed. In which case, I should leave it to you to resolve that issue. Dispose of them if you could.
And you still have no idea what it is we're trying to prevent.
No. So, I know it is disaster, I know it is calamity, but as I said before, Kralaven's mind and his reports became very muddled, so beyond... Quite often, he would list out a sequence of events and then simply write, no, or unsuccessful. And that is all we knew.
And just to double check, the henges themselves, they've been around far longer than you. far longer than the other founders.
Yes. Yes, longer than even before the Aelish arrived on these lands.
And what have you seen them used for over the years? We've seen some examples of their use.
As I say, they are untapped magical energies. But we find that the more attention they are given, the store of magical energy within them is greater, and therefore those without attention have a much weaker source, so to speak. But they can be used for a great number of things. We have obviously tried not to damage and tamper with them, understand them as much as we can, yes, but if we were to damage them, that could, in our fear, trigger one of these disasters, and so we haven't done that. It's been a very delicate approach we've taken in trying to understand them, which is why there are still many questions for ourselves.
And why would the consortium members build a henge?
Yeah, we saw a replica.
Wanted to know the
In
same.
an attempt to understand it, if we could replicate one, then perhaps we could understand how one was constructed, created, and learn how to dismantle one, should we need to.
And the
Safely.
built one, did it react as another henge?
No.
No?
To my understanding, was never a fully powered construction.
Because you don't know what powers it in the first place.
No.
Indeed.
But it worked to an extent.
Gwendolyn's like staring at him, and she asks, "Do you trust Rumath?"
Yes.
Insight check. That is a non-natural 20.
Oh, nice. He does trust Rumath. He still has doubts over whether this particular course of action is one that will definitely succeed or will fail. Like, he himself is unsure. He's like, this is just this version that we're testing this time round. This string could be a complete failure as far as he's aware. So there is doubt in the plan, but there is not so much doubt that Rumath is going to be a thorn in that plan.
If you like, I mean, Gwendolyn, if you are ready for some open air.
I am.
There's a henge in the Philosian Hills that I have also access to and have kept sheltered from others.
Is that one we knew about already?
It was on a list.
Yeah.
It was
I feel
on
like
the
it has
list.
slowly been forgotten, but it was on a list.
Oh,
But
okay.
we've never known exactly where it was. Which is, I think we knew of it in the area, but not exactly where.
You could take us there?
Yes.
Above table, would that be near Mervai?
The Philosian Hills are not that near Mervai.
Mm.
They're next to the Crown's Wood, but then there is a travel south from
Yeah.
Okay.
these to Mervai at the coast.
And it's a few days through the forest to get the other side.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you could go straight from the Philosian Hills straight south.
Yeah.
Before we go, I have one last question.
Yes.
What is the Orcosian link with the henges?
Well, again, in our research and the understanding, the people who existed in these lands before the Aelish first came were protectors of the henges. And when they were forced out, they became the Orcosians. And so the Orcosian people still see these henge sites as places that they are supposed to be in charge of, to be protected by them. But obviously through politicking throughout the years with the Aelish and even the Free Peoples before we, Dravain, were set up, then they have not been allowed access. But again, in other strings, when we have tried offering some parleys and the such, in which they come over and protect the henges, but then that seems to power them even further, and so that did not seem feasible either.
Can I insight check him to see if he is lying and keeping things from us?
Yes.
It's bad. 10.
10. It doesn't seem like he's lying. There's nothing in it that seems like a lie.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. But no, it doesn't. Yeah, like, again, he's got these, in all of these conversations that you've had with the Hastans, they've seemed very open, which, in itself is suspicious.
Yes.
But they've just been like, here are the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You still got your communication plinths?
Yes?
Use them much?
Not often, only when the others call.
Oh, okay.
Who calls you?
Who are you still in touch with?
Chargelt, Wingthrup, and that's it.
Which ones don't call you?
Savelt, Eldraine, and Lister. And Rumath has never been contactable via those.
Via that.
At least since his time in the Demiplane.
Am I right in thinking it was Lister who was the vision we kept seeing outside?
The game show guy.
Yeah. What's Lister doing hanging around outside your house then?
Oh, he helped establish the space. We are slightly suspended from time, you see here. We are semi-demi-planar.
And we're pretty up to date on Servelt. What was Eldraine up to last time you spoke to them?
He was secluded within his compound, performing experimentations, developing weaponry, building an army.
Got you.
Just in case the threat is something you can fight.
Yes, exactly.
How long ago were you last in touch with him?
Many hundreds of years. We have assumed he is dead.
Yeah, probably is.
Well, based on the experiences we've had with your other comrades, I wouldn't rule out that he is still alive.
It's quite possible. He could very well be a danger in and of himself, yes. But we've also heard no rumblings or no... From the area in which he is located, there doesn't seem to be any odd news. Chargelt, as leader of the Arcanist Consortium, keeps a good eye on those kinds of things.
I see. Well, looks like, of course, there are a million things going on right now.
Yeah. You're saying you can take us to a henge? Are you saying you can take us anywhere? Or you can just take us to a henge or we can go out the front door?
Just up. Yes, up above us, the other henge. I can only take you there.
The henge is...
Just above us?
Just above us.
Well, not just, but many, yes.
There isn't like a henge near every founder or something like that. There isn't
Have you
a
stationed
henge
yourselves
at the
near
Wingthrops.
Yeah. We are not all on top of a henge. I don't believe the Wingthrop compound is near
Not near
a henge.
What is the power that they use at the Wingthrops? Do you understand? Do you know it?
Oh, some engine that Erida created.
A new power source, that's...
Indeed.
Do you know how she powers it?
No, I don't know, unfortunately.
I think it's with souls.
Oh, that doesn't seem necessarily her expertise as such.
No.
Intelligences, thoughts, memories, yes. Souls, less so.
Whose realm of research would that be?
Chargelt's, certainly, especially as she is being transporting her own soul between bodies.
Right. Well,
there may have been some. I don't know how her engine works. I know it's designed to control a large number of her creations at once, and that seems to be her concern in conversation that I've had with her for many years.
Gwendolyn looks at Enkidu when they talk about controlling creations.
Okay.
And then looks back at her plant.
Yeah. Well, her energy source was draining the life of the area around her laboratory, her facility. So you see, she used to use the lives of animals to power her contraptions, and now she's changed to something else. Well, let's decide our next course of action. Enkidu looks to Juna. I'm like, well, I believe, Miss Septhorn, it's time we confronted Heron. Now that we know that we know.
Before we go to this henge, I have two more questions.
Yes, of course.
One is, how many henges do you, what henges do you know about?
Twain Tide, the Falosian Hills, the Lockholt Wood. There's abroad, there's one in Ash, in Orkosh, in Ash Henge. I believe there's one within the Iron Chain somewhere, though that has seemingly never been a point of danger.
The Iron Chain's near Bryden.
Yes, that's right. I don't believe it's somewhere within the Iron Chain, not near your hometown.
No,
my dear.
It's a big place, the Iron Chain.
It's a large range. I used to look up out of it from my childhood.
Indeed.
I did.
It's also where
So that's
and the artificial one.
Yes, the one beneath Forlos Vale.
And then, to your knowledge, is there a pattern of where these henges have cropped up?
No, there seems to be no discernible pattern in their location. And they all seem to be of varying different ages as well.
Yeah?
Yes.
How varied. How old are we even talking with a henge? 5,000 years? 50,000? 500,000?
Between 5 and 50, yes.
5 and 50
1,000, yes.
years. Do records even go back that far about civilizations that lived back then?
They don't, and that is rather the problem in trying to understand them.
That's why folk tales are important.
Indeed.
Could be possible. We're talking about a civilization way more advanced than the one we have now.
I don't think so.
Considering what we've seen, can you really throw it out?
No, you're right. I can't prove it.
Okay, so what do we want to do?
Well, check on Guy. Then I guess we might as well look at this henge while we're here. And then we figure out where we go from there.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do one thing at a time.
Gwendolyn gets up and starts walking towards her room.
I think Juna's going to go with her.
I'll go and look for Guy.
The kid is just going to stay where he is.
Gaius, where have you been?
He's been in the room where Gwendolyn was. Just looking, just reading, crying, not gonna lie. We went for when Orin arrives, he's head in hands.
Hey, buddy.
Hey! He stands up. We going? Let's go.
Yeah. You right?
Yeah, fine. All good. Just gotta get it out of me, you know what I mean? Let's go. Slaps him on the back.
Okay.
Gwendolyn arrives and kind of holds at the threshold. Not sure whether she really wants to go back into it. And then she sees them and she's like, "Can you pick up the plants of you, please?"
Oh, will do.
Yeah, sure thing. What do you want, Gwenny? I can go and get it for you.
You pick up 2 plants. You can pick up Gaius and Dwayne.
Yep,
and,
okay. These ones.
Orin, can you pick up you and Enkidu?
Will do.
And next to my bed, there's a book. We can take that one.
Oh, is that the one for me?
Yes, that's for you, Orin. And on the front of the picture, there's a unicorn, but riding on the back is kind of like a muscly Yeti man.
A Yeti man?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the title?
And it's called The Iceman Cometh.
That's perfect.
And
Oh my gosh.
the unicorn's horn is like an ice pick sort of thing.
Amazing.
I thought you'd like it, Orin, and it would remind you of home.
Oh, I can see why. Yeah, that's going to be a treat. And Orin will pop it in his bag, in his book bag. Guy, I think you got something in mind too.
Oh yeah, he'll flick him the coin. All right, so Gwen, is there anything else you want us to get from the room?
Just my bag, and then anything that is Gwen's, kind of.
Yeah.
And she takes off this kind of musty magical robe, and does anybody want this?
Why don't we just leave it here? Because this isn't your home. Your home is with us.
No.
No, she just plonks it on the floor.
Juna's going to have a little scope of the room, just check that she hasn't left anything behind. Something maybe like a war fan, like
An
gubbins,
idiot chair.
the things that mean a lot to Gwen that she might not
Yeah.
be remembering. Juna's going to just check that none of that's left behind.
Yeah, amazing.
And actually, Gubbins is probably under the pillow. So if you'll find Gubbins under
So
there.
yeah, she'll find Gubbins.
Yeah.
Definitely bringing that guy.
Yeah, and
That
then
person.
it's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a cat puppet. And she'll grab that from you. Thank you, Juna. Do you want to hold you?
I'd love to.
She gives you them, and then
No one's ever named a plant after me before, Gwen.
It's
Thank
not
you.
named after you. It is you.
Oh, sorry. No one's ever had the same name as me, even.
Yes. Well, that now somebody does. So
Yeah.
and she wants everybody to carry themselves, and then she'll carry the Dwayne one. Okay, ready now.
Juna, just so you know, having more than one of you is a very weird experience. You're going to love it.
The good news is, I reckon this time, Guy, we'll be able to tell the two of you apart.
I can't.
Well, we'll leave that one for another time, shall
Me
we?
neither.
Yeah.
Me neither,
No,
Gwen.
no.
They look the same to me.
that just brief pause after she said that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Moving forwards. Love it.
All right.
But you all follow Hastan through a different corridor, and he leads you into a small, cylindrical room, which, as you look up, it's very clearly just like almost like an elevator lift type of a space. There is light above you, like far distant light,
but he sort of gestures for you all to
There's
step
a
into the
Mazoku above her.
to step into the middle of this circular room.
Walked us through his like house and stuff, hasn't he? As we've gone around.
Kind of, yeah.
Just as an aside,
Yeah.
while we've been walking through, have there been any interesting little scrapbooks full of his notes?
Oh my gosh.
Anything like that?
Not in the corridors, I wouldn't
No,
say.
Okay. Not in any of the
yeah,
rooms
you've not
we've
gone
been
into
in.
any of his rooms.
Fine.
You are related to me, aren't you?
Yeah, Orin, your
Yeah.
Gaius is showing. Yeah,
One
no.
book just isn't enough.
The corridors have been fairly bare. There's been like the
okay.
odd small table with a plant
just
on it, just for, or like, you know, a painting on the wall, but like nothing of note. But you all step into this little circular room, and sort of he waits at the door.
He's like, well, this is well, likely the last chance for any questions, I can imagine.
Give me just 1 second.
Yes.
And I'll do an inside check as he replies. It's a 10.
Cool. As you sort of take this brief moment, disassociate for a second and like start reaching in. First of all, there is a comfort as you're sort of even more getting used to like reaching in and like almost like deciding who it is you're going to talk to. You sense Cal is in there. So there is instant relief that you're like, okay.
Okay.
But it's Hina who steps forwards, and it's almost as you move into this little circular room, she kind of like appears like in the crowd of you all. It's kind of then stood at the side.
You alright?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
Don't know how good Cal is doing. I think it's alright. I think that it got weirdly buzzy when he like went over, but he's here.
Buzzy?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you mean?
Like for him, it was like he wasn't entirely with us in there, but then he wasn't entirely not. Like he's popped out before, and
yeah,
but that's been more like, you know, there's still like him in there. He's just like out here, but then it got like he wasn't even quite in here.
Right.
Just like, don't be sending any of us through to the Abyssal Realm again, is what
No,
kind of what I'm
right,
saying.
okay,
or like
yeah.
if you are going to do it, maybe it'd be me. Yeah, I've got some like Abyssal heritage in that, so like maybe
Okay.
it don't work like that with me, but like maybe not him.
Right. Well, I'm not planning a return trip anytime soon.
Yeah,
so
it's probably for the best, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely for the best.
Yeah.
You, after all that we've learned about what happened back up on the Iron Chain, did you, manage to talk with, like,
They're being pretty quiet on us. I don't even know if they know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they know.
Great.
They don't seem very happy.
No.
So, and you know how they get when they get real quiet, and it's normally because, like, I don't know if they're feeling guilty about something, or if they, like, you know, they're blaming themselves for something.
No,
but
of course. Well,
they've not said anything yet.
that's okay. They don't owe us answers.
No.
They've kept us safe, and we just want to make sure that hasn't changed. Well, I don't want to press light for answers, but Alcibiades owes us a thing or two.
Oh, he's not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in quite a fun way, though. He's not happy.
And what's
Well, you know, just the little joys in it. Like, it's annoying that the rest of us might be in there for a while.
Yeah.
But it's satisfying that he doesn't have the freedom.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he could start cooperating, and then I don't know. You know,
Maybe he'll come round if this
Maybe
is
he'll
how
come
we're gonna
round.
be. If we're not an I, we're a we. He's
Yeah.
got to get on board with that.
He does. He's been there long enough.
Exactly that.
He's been holding out. So nothing about who he's been writing to and what he's been saying.
Nah. Well, we know it was Jarrell.
Yeah.
But he's not talking words.
Okay. Fine.
Onwards and upwards, and apparently you might be king instead of Gil. So that'd be good.
Well, it's not going to mean the same thing as running the country. It's what? Attempting this ritual and stopping the country from exploding?
Yeah.
And even if the ritual succeeds, I doubt anyone's going to be keen on me holding on to it. What does Gil think?
He has gotten a bit sullen. Don't take that personally, though.
No, I won't. I can't deal with that right now.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Listen, you look after everyone up here, I'll look after everyone down there, right?
Counting on you.
Yeah. Don't die, because apparently that will definitely kill us all.
I figured.
Alright. Love you, Kai.
Love you too.
No, she's gone.
Oh. Well, what will you do now, Hastan?
Yeah, what's your next plan?
Well, to try to repair some of the damage that I've caused down here. Well, that's it, and hope that I receive word that everything up there is okay.
How do we contact you if we need to know something?
Oh, the others will contact me. Don't worry.
The other
Founders, yes.
I assume they're watching us right now, right? I mean, I have Erida's presence with me.
It's less watching you and more just keeping an idea of where and how you're getting on. Not constantly scrying your every move.
No, of course.
checking in, nosing about.
Shall we go outside and...
Let's go outside. I would message into his head to Hastan. I'll message it. You're a demonologist, aren't you?
He sort of glances, looks over in your head. Yeah.
You research demons, so figure out how to get demons out from a Mazoku. Why don't you? If you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
You see like a small nod from this old man, and the reply you get is, "If you can all survive, then we'll have time."
Orin doesn't reply.
I like this new Orin.
Yeah.
He's reinforced his back and he's like, all right,
Yeah.
not taking this no more.
Good luck. Save the country if you could. It's only my life's work that's gone into making that happen. So now it's on you.
Great.
Right.
And the floor beneath you just starts to slowly rise through this tube, this tunnel upwards, and it gets much brighter. The light almost widens above you as you rise closer to the surface, and you find yourself on this platform in a very secluded valley. There are hills on either side, but you can see that the way that they kind of rise up around you, that they it's nigh on impossible to climb down into this space. However, in front of you, in the middle of this space, are 9 very old, but very polished, wooden, stony stakes in a circle.
How big are the stakes?
Oh, bigger than all of you. Yeah, probably about 10 foot high.
Okay.
But there's a circle of 9 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can assume that they are a henge.
Gwendolyn starts walking towards it.
Mm.
Gaius walks quickly to be in pace with Gwen, like very close to Gwen.
Can you hold this for a moment for me, Gaius? She takes her shoes off so she can feel the grass under her feet.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Feels nice. Feels good.
Do you want me to carry your bag as well?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Anything else?
She gives everything that's holding her back and then she runs to the henge.
Nice.
Gaius tries to really tries to catch up. There's quite a few things thrown at him. He's
Juna also tries to catch up, obviously.
He frantically makes sure that nothing falls out of that bag and races after her.
Amazing. And you all like rush across this like little overgrown valley, running through the grass, and the smell it's so fresh. Like all of the wind that is sort of the breeze that is dropping down into this valley is just keeping the sense of this space. And as you reach the henge, this wooden henge rather than a stone henge, that same feeling every time you've been in a henge of that like calming atmosphere is even more present here. And you kind of all slowly gather in the middle of it. And then Orin, you spot words on one of the henges.
Is Hastan still here?
No, he stayed behind.
Look at them. I will go up.
Well, when I say you spot words almost being written. And across the 4 henges in front of you, or 4 of these stakes in front of you, you see the words, "We need to talk." And then on the floor beneath your feet, carving itself into the grass, are the words, "Torbear Bog," and then a dotted line down to a cross. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Nice.
Ooh.
Who did you give the writing paper to?
Kieda.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, we've ruined a National Trust site.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orin, Chris Watts as Gaius, Daryl Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendolyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe, and follow us on all the social media. Thank you for listening to No Small Roles. Anon for now.
Anan!